And we are live. We are live. Live.
Oh,
hooray.
All right. Give yourself a little round of applause.
Yes, of course. Now, this is going to be a little bit different for everybody that's watching. This is, I've decided that a lot of my podcasts are with people that don't necessarily know everything about video games. And so I was having podcasts with you and Levi, because originally the podcast, the Explicit Materia podcast, was supposed to be me, Evan, and Levi talking about video games and video game related material. And then, you know, Levi moved away, you moved away, and so it kind of then became sort of like a Joe Rogan regular kind of podcast where I talk to my friends about anything. And so, but I really miss just talking about video games. So like the talks I have with you are so fun, and you're incredibly intelligent and witty. And I'm like, people deserve to see Evan in all of his glory when it comes to these subjects and just any subjects in general. So I've now dubbed this segment of the channel Explicit Materia God Mode. Now, that is kind of lame, actually, now that I think about it. But it also could have been like the Shane and Evan show. Like, that could have worked too.
I'm pretty flattered, I'm not going to lie. This is going straight to my head. I'm absolutely honored, Shane. Thank you so much for having me, but thank you even more for apparently redoing everything for the sake of me. So,
all right, do you want to get started? Do you want to just go straight into our topics today? Our topics today are twofold, meaning there's two. Number one is, I don't know which one to go first, so I'll leave it up to you which one you want to do first. Do you want to do the microtransactions, or do you want to do...
Let's talk about microtransactions, because I don't know how much you've seen about this Diablo. Did you... Diablo Immortal, the big like BlizzCon announcement?
Oh, no.
I was actually, because I thought to myself, you know, through the week, I'm thinking like, okay, you know, me and Shane are going to talk about microtransactions. I hope we're not Johnny come latelys to this subject, because really so much has been said and we want to kind of like find our place in it or not. Mm-hmm. And then, the timing was just so perfect, because they have this BlizzCon happen this past week, and they're hyping everybody up. They're like, there's a new announcement, and it's going to be about Diablo. And that was the teaser, was that it's going to be about Diablo. And Diablo is kind of like Blizzard's like redheaded stepchild. Like, we do all our development on Overwatch. We do this stuff in World of Warcraft. But Diablo's kind of been set aside for like a long time. And a lot of people worried about the directions that it's gone and what it's going to turn into. So everybody's super hyped about Diablo. And they come out and they're like, say hello to Diablo Mobile. It's Diablo Mobile, and it was just a huge like balloon deflating womp womp. Everybody thinks like, oh, this is like a fake out to their real announcement, but apparently they've partnered with like this company that has already made like an RPG, an Asian RPG for the phone, and they're reskinning it with Diablo stuff.
Come on.
That's like a diluted version kind of Diablo 3, which really had a lot of problems. And I mean, the backlash has been just hilariously terrible. I mean, you've got like they had a little question and answer period, and somebody was like, will there be a PC release of this game? And they were like, don't you guys have phones?
I was curious, I see a lot of mechanics that we've kind of been begging for in Diablo 3 in this. Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any, the current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
Like they were completely oblivious to that somebody would be mad about this, or that somebody would take something that like has such a following and is so loved. I don't know.
What? Okay. That's almost worse. That might actually be worse than the Command and Conquer thing at I think it was at E3 last year when was it E3 or some other sort of convention where they announced a new Command and Conquer game, a game that hasn't come out, hasn't had a sequel in like 10 years, and also a beloved franchise.
Huge beloved franchise.
And they come out and say, we're going to create a mobile game.
I know. And it's so, you don't want to be cynical, but like, no,
it's okay to be cynical mobile, at this point.
It doesn't mean that it's going to suck, but it does mean that it's not going to be the greatest game of all time. No one has ever asked, I've never asked someone, hey, what's your favorite video game ever? And had them be like, Angry Birds. Like, the games that are on mobile are fun, but there's a limitation there, and there's a lot of limitations there. And I mean, even my own history with Diablo, like, anytime somebody asks me, they're like, well, you are always talking about like atmosphere in games. Diablo is like the best example of a really, really consistent atmosphere, because in that time before Diablo came out, every RPG, and still to this day, still some of them do it, the town is like the safe place, and it's really bright, and there's nice little pipe music playing, and you go and sell the things that you need. And in that game, in Diablo and Tristan, I remember being there, and it's like really gloomy, it's really foreboding. The whole town is cursed by the presence of this cathedral that has eventually the portal to hell inside. And I remember thinking, in my frame of mind, I was like, this is just like any other RPG. I'm going to beat this part, and then we're going to go to Act 2, and it's going to be somewhere else. Well, that's not what happens. In Diablo, you basically drill down all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah, that's
level by level, more and more intense. And the whole time, like, Tristan is never like a safe place to go back to, because, again, it's so overbearing, and the music is very unsettling. It's not, there's nothing happy about it. There's cursed, and you're getting more and more cursed by, like, being a part of this game. And I can remember just being so weighed down that I didn't want to keep going deeper. I would clear out the level, and I would finally, I don't want to go any lower, because I was scared. And Diablo was so heavy. And now, if you watch the trailer for this new Diablo Immortal, it's essentially a cartoon. Like, that art style is completely gone. There's no overbearingness. There's nothing scary about it. They've taken kind of the World of Warcraft art style and transplanted it. It is very cartoony, and it's over somewhere that it doesn't really belong. And this is the same company that would make a game 90% of the way, and then they would say, you know what, this isn't good enough for our standards, and they would throw it away. That's what Blizzard used to be.
Wow.
And now what we have now is mobile plus microtransactions on this, because they didn't have to say there are microtransactions. You know automatically when it's on mobile.